Namaste. I'm normally a monk off the grid. People ask me questions about how you became a monk, and I tell them the story. Today I'm going to tell you a different story, a story that I never spoke. I want to tell you, on the day I decided to be a monk, I resigned my job, and I came to tell my mom. My mom was a very good friend of mine. Apart from being my mother, I could tell her anything I wanted to. I had told nobody about resigning my very lucrative job as a design engineer. I was in a unique project developing the first ultra-pure silicon wafer plant that goes on substrate on IC chips, the first one in India, and a unique project. And I finished the project and I resigned. I didn't tell anybody. And I came home and told my mom, I was actually reluctant to tell my mom, and I told her that I did this. And she instantly put her head down. And then afterward looked up and said that, I have several children and one of them goes the missionary way, it's fine with me. I was shocked at the reply. And she is sort of, I became a monk, and I used to come rarely and visit her, but over a period of time, a few years, one fine day she asked me an amazing question. She said, you don't feel any love, affection for me anymore? And I looked at her, and I didn't know what to answer. It stumped me. You know, the Swami question. I didn't answer. And it kept me thinking. And I was wondering, has my so-called monkhood, or my so-called attempt at transcendence and spirituality, made something less of my humanity? I kept thinking of this, and all of you friends and folks, today I want to share with you my realizations of this amazing, profound, subtle, and very vital info about ourselves, about our persona, about our personalism index that we can promote. What is it? What's the problem? The problem is human society has actually become very, very dehumanized, depersonalized, and we are very much into things over people. Things have become more important than people. This is an important thing that we should know, and it's a big problem. We have learned over a period of time, since the time of the Industrial Revolution, that money is important, things are important, material achievements are important, and people have become less and less important. And in the process, what has happened is that we have reduced our own persona. We have dehumanized ourselves, and we become impersonal. We have used people as things and have made things more important to us. This is history. We know that. And today, if you go into the world of technology, you will see that the nexus between technology and people and a person, a human, is reaching some dangerous equation. If you look at it, I'm not talking about something that you already know about your personality. Personality is something that you put up for the people of this world and for you. I'm talking about your persona, the deep side of your authentic self, your identity. You are somebody in person How much of it do we know? How much are we in touch with? Let me ask you a question. Go look into a mirror, look at yourself, look into your eyes, and tell me if you're in connection with your real self. How many of you think that you have a little disconnect with yourself? Let me see. How many of you? See, almost all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the response. That's what I'm going to tell you about today. And that's my realization over a long period of time. And that is different from personality. Personality is what we put up to the world outside. Persona, our deep self, our real identity, is what we should be in touch with for increasing our own personalism index. I like to actually tell you that if you look into your pet dog's eye, you would see a person there waiting for an interaction with you. Yes or no? You have seen it. You look into your pet's eye, you will see. There's persons everywhere, and we need to interact, not only with human beings. We have a problem with interacting with ourselves, we have a problem with interacting with people whom we know very closely, and then we have a problem with ourselves interacting with the world around us. I'm going to tell you more about it. Sometime back, this video of Sophia the robot became very famous. I think almost all of you would have seen it sometime or the other. And I'm taking this as an example. Sophia was awarded citizenship in Saudi Arabia. She came to be recognized as a person. But Sophia is neither he nor she. It's an it. It's a machine. But we can see that Sophia does not have a persona, as many people know. And people had some more introspective questions also. They want to know what's the difference between me and Sophia actually. I am going to be seen as a resource, a human resource, what my material capability is, and Sophia can do everything that I can do in a better way. So people started asking themselves an important question. Do I also have a Sophia side in my life, apart from my real side? And if I can perform as good, or if Sophia can perform better than me, I mean robots can perform better than me, then who am I? This is a foundational important question that thinking people started asking. And I think you know what I mean. We need to know and reach out to our deep persona. What's the title that we are given when you see this nexus? Since the Industrial Revolution started, people were termed human resource. According to me, it's a very derogatory term, denigrating even the human being. At least call me a human being. Calling me a human resource would mean that you're looking only at my Sophia type of material personality, my capability and everything. To look at people only as human resource, you're failing to see them as human beings and foundationally failing to see them as persons, spiritual entities from whom their personality flows. Just think about it. So, when we actually look more deeper into ourselves, we'll come to know, even famous persons making this statement that I don't know who I am actually. I'm not in touch with myself. This is Bob Dylan saying so, one of the greatest songwriters, one of the greatest authors, intellectuals, great thoughtful leader, etc. saying so. And most of us are in disconnect like that. So my experience I have seen is that we are even more than just human beings. We are actually spiritual personalities having a human experience, and we are not human beings temporarily having a spiritual experience. This is reality. This is spoken by a saint. So thinking in those terms, if you actually look at it, two types of things happen to people. One is your worldview. The other is your relationship with yourself and your people you know and the world around you. They are all actually connected. Both 1 and 2 are interconnected. If you know about a great person called Chanakya Pandit, a great statesman, he made a powerful statement saying, Atmavat Panyate Jagat. It meant you will see the world the way you see yourself. So it's so very important to see yourself properly and increase your own persona. Because it affects the world. It affects you. It affects the people around you. Right? Impersonalism. The more you look at people materially, the more you look at the Sophia side of people, the more you depersonalize them. This was a great lesson for me, and I wanted to share it with you. Human society needs to know this, and we need to promote this. I'll give you another example. Climate change. You know, climate change is about we are suffering floods, tornadoes, tsunamis, temperature rise, sea level rising, pollution, and all sorts of problems are coming upon us, and we really don't know how to deal with it. The problem is larger than human society. It is larger than our humanity. But you will see that if you look at tradition, you will see that in India people worshipped Mother Earth. They worshipped nature. They actually had a personal relationship. I'll show you this beautiful picture, very poignant. This is the Hug the Tree movement, Chik movement. When they wanted to build a dam in the Himalayas and they wanted to fell these huge, wonderful trees that were hundreds of years old, these women in the Himalayas got together, the rural women, and said, these trees are very dear to us. They give us shade. They give us fruits, they give us flowers, they give us wood and timber, they give us water, they hold the land together from landslides, and we won't allow you to fell them. You can kill us first before you fell these trees. They had a personal relationship with the tree, and this is true. And if you see in history, you will see Jagdish Chandra Bose, a Nobel Prize winner. He proved that plants live. He put his scissors open like this in a creeper growing, and the creeper changed direction in 2 days away from the open scissors. He did a lot of experiments like this and showed that plants live, breathe, and are conscious like all of us. This is personalism. These people have a high personalism index. They relate with the earth, they relate with trees. And they're not foolish. It's not that they're simply worshipping them. There's a much deeper connotation to why they do what they do. Because we are personal. And each one of us actually needs to connect personally with each other. Bring out the deepest aspect of your authentic self and connect with each other. You will see your life will be enriched, and you will enrich other people's lives, and the whole planet will be a beautiful place with prosperity and great interconnections. And this we need to learn. We need to learn this. And how do we learn this, if you ask me, in conclusion? I would say that you should get in touch with yourself. How do I do that? I did that by reading wisdom literature. The Gita gave me a great amount of inspiration. And I met with saintly people, discuss these things openly with them. And their inspiration and their type of discipline that they gave me over a period of time has made me deeply realize these things. You could practice yoga, you could practice meditation, you could read wisdom literature, you could associate with these type of people who take you deep within yourself. It's not just our material life alone. We are spiritual entities, and we should look into our spiritual dimension, pay attention to it, and we will live much better material lives. Our material lives are a byproduct of our spiritual focus.
And we need to do that in order to bring out a persona in a better format. Increasing your personalism index, increasing human society's personal index should be a very important thing that we all should get together to do. Because if you build communities where people relate in this way, you'll have enriching communities, enriching human experiences. Actually, I wish that I could actually talk to my mom again and tell her, Mom, you set me on a wonderful journey. I have been thinking about it, I've been studying it, I've been learning it, and I want to tell you that you are right in asking me that question, a very foundational question. I think you would have been a better teacher to me. So I want to thank every one of you individually. Person to person, I want to relate with you with love and affection and tell you, thank you for being here on this occasion, sharing this moment, helping me to explain this experience to you, and spending your time